Hello, I am Cesar. Today I want to show you how I got my streaming PC set up and ready. But before that, if you haven't seen how I built this streaming PC, I invite you to check that video. The link should be up here probably about now. Now here's a disclaimer. This is not a tutorial or a how to do video. This is just me blogging and learning something new. I have come across some problems, some challenges, and I will show you how I overcame them in case you want to create your own PC as well. Okay, so let's get going. First, I'd like to apologize. I don't have video capture software in this computer just yet. I am using my phone to video blog this installation process. As you can see, the BIOS is running, the CPU has been recognized, and the speed is 3.5 GHz. Also, the two memory sticks have been recognized as well. One little problem I noticed was that the RAM speed was not recognized right off the bat, so I had to change it manually. However, it was a very simple process. I used a flash memory to install Windows. So another problem I had was that the flash memory was Mac formatted, so obviously Windows was never going to recognize it, because I assumed that the problem was the computer and not the flash memory. So it took me a couple of days to figure out this problem, since Windows doesn't tell you what the exact problem is. Once I corrected this, the installation process was very smooth. I hadn't used a Windows machine in almost 10 years. I have been a Mac user for a long time now, so I have been spoiled. Everything Mac is pretty much plug and play. It just works. With Windows, a lot of the tasks are manual. I guess that means more control. Once Windows was installed, I had to let Windows download all the updates once it was connected to the internet. After that, I googled the NVIDIA drivers for the GTX 1660 Super video card. That process went very smooth as well. Once the drivers were installed, I had to reboot the computer and double check that the drivers were installed. Then proceeded to install the Elgato HD60 Pro capture card, straight to the Elgato website. That was also very easy to do. There are different downloads for different things. Since I am so new to Elgato products, I don't know what I will need yet. I downloaded everything just in case. During the process, Windows requested downloading Microsoft.NET Framework 3.5. That didn't seem optional, so I did it anyway. After that, I went to the OBS website and downloaded the free-to-download Open Broadcaster software, which also was very simple to install. I am very impressed with the speed of the NVMe M.2. I've never seen anything being so fast. It only takes 20 seconds for the computer to be ready to go from the moment I turn it on. I think mechanical hard drives are a thing of the past for me from now on. Once I opened OBS, it was not as daunting as I thought it would be. It seems very easy and intuitive. I just have to spend more time getting to know it. Getting my Twitch account into OBS was a piece of cake. It's a very simple process as well. OBS runs diagnostics to determine what type of system you have and decides the best settings for you. OBS determined that my best settings are 1920 by 1080, 60 frames per second, NVENC for both streaming and recording, and a bit rate of 6000. I am sure I can change this last setting. I also tried Elgato Capture HD application and decided to give it a go with a Nintendo Switch. One thing I had to do from the get-go was to change the TV settings and change the RGB range from automatic to full range. Since I was already in the mood, I tested Zelda Breath of the Wild. As you can see in the task manager, the CPU is running at only 16% at most, whereas the GPU, the NVIDIA card, fluctuates between 20 to 40%, never going over 50%. Another novelty I want to play with is that the Nintendo Switch allows you to play arcade games from the 90s. There are many Neo Geo games I never played but I always wanted to. Now I'll be able to play and share gameplays with you. Now back to encoding. Streaming Zelda Breath of the Wild takes the Ryzen 3 only 14% of its power, and the NVENC encoder is taking the heat at almost 60%. After listening to several YouTubers and streamers' advice on regards of getting a cheap NVIDIA card with Turing architecture and NVENC encoding, I decided to go to NVIDIA's website to check on my own. They were correct. Any GeForce GTX 1660 will do the job. To finish the test, I decided to turn off the NVENC encoder and put some stress on the CPU. The CPU uses an encoder called X264. As you can see on the graph, the GPU is taking a break running at 38%, whereas the CPU is running at almost 80%. Don't forget, the CPU is not only running the encoding, but also all the background tasks that the operating system needs to do. In addition, OBS has not dropped any frames in any of these tests and keeps running at 60 frames per second. That makes me a very happy camper. Just to finish up, I'll change the settings back from X264 to NVENC encoding. And once again, the GTX is back to 60% load and the CPU is stress-free at 13% power. Okay, so that is it for this video. As you can see, I'm still in the very early stages of creating my own streams. I still need to learn how to do overlays, how to do proper lighting, how to capture myself, and I will show you that in the future. Also, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel if you want to see how my content evolves. Also follow me on my social media, the link should be down below. And lastly, I want to wish you all the best during the quarantine. Stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourself. Until next time.